I'm going to, at the very least, I think what we can do is start going over my ingredients and stuff and just kind of get acquainted with like what I'm making. And then as people trickle in, Lucinda, what's going on, girl? How are you? As people start trickling in, then, you know, we can backtrack or whatever, but this seems like my OG team right here. So let's get her going. Is recording okay for everybody? Also, last week there was a great recording, and so they were able to send it, you know, out to people. Is that okay? Rachel, you get that? Right, good? Cool. Let's get it. So as you'll know, today is sponsored by Singani 63. I got the bottle right here. What's up, Danny? How are you? So this is, it's a spirit, obviously, but to me, I would closely relate it to an aguardiente, or it's classified as a brandy. To me, I don't think that that's very correct. And actually, Lauren is going to tell you some info about how they're getting, you know, clarification on that within, you know, the spirit world and all that kind of good stuff. But for all intents and purposes, the flavor is that of a brandy type of thing. It's very light, and it's really nice with everything. So I'm gonna make a pretty like summery drink. This is my garnish glass that we're gonna fill with ice. It has tahini and gold flakes, and I put a little bit of turmeric and paprika, like around the rim, so it's gonna be cute. So if you guys want to turn your attention to Lauren super fast, she will tell you more about Singani, and then I'll kind of start building everything in my glass.
Hello. Yeah, so Singani 63 is lovely, and they're sponsoring this event for us, so we wanted to give them a little shout out, create some cocktails for them. But Singani is a distillate from Bolivia. It's grape distillate produced using the Muscat of Alexandria grape. It is currently classified as brandy, but it, as we probably are all familiar with, understand that there's a huge differentiation. So there's actually a petition going around right now for recognizing Singani. It's recognizesingani.com, and it's an initiative that Singani 63 has pushed to ensure that it gets its proper recognition. So starting September 1st, it'll legally be registered as its own spirits category. And for 2 months, it'll be up for review. So they just need us to sign the petition, you know, speak up and really push this through. So if you're interested, I highly recommend checking that out. If you need additional information, you go to our Instagram page. In our bio, there's a link that can kind of provide you with some additional information. But on to Simone now, who will do the fun cocktail demo, and then we'll get into it, all right?
So I've added already to my shaker a ounce and a half of the Singani, standard shot. Okay, I kind of put a little bit more. I feel some of you guys are going to clock me, but it's fine. So I put a little bit more than that, but I think that we're all okay, right? And then I put a tablespoon of honey, whatever you have. If you have agave, that works great too. And then the same mix of like the paprika, turmeric, and the tahini that I put around the rim, I'm just sprinkling just a tiny little bit into the glass just to kind of bind it all together. So when you taste the tahini, you're not like, ew, what is that, you know? And then I'm putting in, so I have here my limes and my jalapenos. I'm only putting in one jalapeno because I tried this last night and it was pretty spicy. So I would say one. I leave the seeds on because I'm gonna go back and, you know, strain it, so it's fine. And then I put the equivalent of like maybe 2-3 slices of lime in there. Again, you're just kind of wanting to like enhance the flavor, bring out the sweetness of the spirit, and kind of just create a balanced drink. So I'm squeezing that in here. If you love lime, go for it. Obviously, yes, jalapenos are very unpredictable, Danny, I agree with you, literally. And then for the star of the show, I got some mango nectar. So I love this brand. You can get it at like freaking anywhere, but Goya works good too. So I'm actually just gonna use the same measuring glass as I did my spirit so that we have an equal measurement. And then we're just going to add some ice and give her a shake. So I'm curious to see, has anyone tasted or tried anything with brandy or like an aguardiente or like anything of that sort? I mean, something of that like flavor profile. Have you tried any of these flavor profiles with them, or like what have you done? I want to know.
My mom made me try some Mexican brandy called Tuaca, and it's really sweet, and we kind of just drank it like straight. We didn't need to mix it with anything. And we had a night where we called it taking shots and making pots, like we were painting planter pots, and no painting really got done after like 2 or 3 shots of that. Like, it was a wild night. That's my experience.
I love that. Your mom sounds amazing, so.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Right. So after you shake, this is, I guess, I don't know if this is like a personal thing, but whenever I was trained in bartending, we always do fresh ice. It's totally up to you though. If you added to this, what I have done before is add some herbs, like I did some cilantro and then like maybe some fresh limes, kind of like a mojito type of vibe. And then I'll just like trash dump it. Yeah, it's super good. But for this, we're just gonna shake it. So I'm gonna add my ice. Do you mind saying, has anybody else had any experiences with these type of alcohols or spirits, excuse me?
I'm from San Francisco Bay Area, so Pisco is really big.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Oh, so you guys have Sol in your restaurants and stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. I used to do some yoga events with them back in DC, and I have never really had, Pisco is like one of those things that people really ask for pretty specifically, and then until I started working with them, I was like, man, like I could make a switch for tequila even, sometimes, or, if people were just kind of like wanting a very like mild spirit, they were really good with just whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, no, I love that. I love Pisco. All right, I'm just pouring this out here. I'm gonna show you my finished product. So this is it. This is my, yes, I love it. My lovely Singani drink. It's super good. I'm gonna have one too. Ooh, hell yeah. Ooh, y'all. Yeah. I could have, if I added some vegetation, some cilantro or whatever, it would have brought out the jalapeno and made it a little bit more herbaceous, but this is solid. Mm-hmm. So yes, that is my Singani drink. And, you want to take the stage, Lauren? I'm going to go get set up for our second part, the meditation part. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
So great.
Love. Yeah, so just quick pause and she'll be right back. But if y'all are going to be joining us on Friday, highly recommend making yourself a little something to drink, and then we'll get into the effort meditation. I'm really excited for that one. But yeah, thank you all for joining us and supporting us, taking the time out of your day, because you could be doing other things, but we appreciate having you here.
We appreciate y'all doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. How did Simone, sorry, you were able to view the link for the previous class, right?
Yes, I got like 17 minutes in. I'm gonna finish after this one.
yeah, very cool. What were all your thoughts about that one?
Honestly, I'm very new to everything, like meditating and stuff, so I'm really just learning. I don't really have any of my own insights on things, so not much other than I'm very intrigued and I want to learn more. Like, definitely me meditating, like I've done it at the beach several times, and I feel so much lighter and better, and I want to get more into yoga and meditating, definitely.
Yeah, me too. It's a very new thing for me, but anything that will allow me to feel better and good is great to me.
Especially like the holistic approaches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really.
All right, Simone, I'm gonna let you take it away.
All right, right on. I'm glad that you said that, Simone, because that is kind of what I want to focus on today, is just finding ways to incorporate, I hate this lighting, finding ways to incorporate just, holistic things in your life, like regularly, right? How to just weave them into your day and not make them so much of a shift of your schedule. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us on a daily are kind of being met with this blank slate, right? And we're kind of like, all right, what kind of day is this about to be, like, should I tiptoe, into this day, or can I kind of like cannonball dive, and it's like, you never really know. So I think a lot of these practices are really helpful to just, at any point, like we were saying last time, Simone, that was the kind of the conversation too, that we were just trying to find a wave, find a flow, in however way that makes you feel. So what we're going to be talking about today, like we did last week, please just feel free to take whatever you want from it, and really make it your own. Nothing that I'm, saying is like law, it's absolutely how you interpret it. But I think that the even playing field is just our awareness and our attention behind everything that we do, right? So today we're talking about aura meditation and aura protection, and creating like energetic force fields, for safety, right? For energetic safety. And so before we get into the topic, I want to see just kind of like a gauge. How, like, have we heard about what an aura is? What does white light mean to us? I want to kind of get a feeler. So tell me what we know.
Growing up in the,
You're okay, you go ahead.
okay. The 90s, I think there was like a reawakening, and then like, the whole like granola and all that kind of stuff. So it got kind of this like outsider, like sort of mushy, weird vibe to it. And I think that we've reached like another version of that where everybody's kind of coming around and realizing that like it actually has value and is not just some weird stuff.
Yeah, there's truth to the woo-woo. Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah. And I think that's a great point, because again, I think all of us, no matter what backgrounds we're in, what we do for work, the main point is that we all deal with bullshit, unfortunately, and then the constant struggle is how to maintain your essence and how you are in your best light amongst that, right? So whether it's woo-woo or whether it's not, that can mean something specific to you. So that's a good point, Rachel. I know. What about you, Simone? What do you think?
Aura and like white light protection. I've read several book series that have auras in them. And I mean, I believe in like my spiritual religious basis is like, I believe in the universe, you know what I mean? Like everything's connected,
Right.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I really believe that aura is a real thing. Like I can feel it sometimes. Like I feel like I'm an empath, and you can straight up feel that. And I really want to learn how to protect myself from that outside energy.
Yes. And so when you feel it though, what does the energy feel like? Is it heavy, or does it feel like you're opening yourself up to maybe have more of a capacity to hold it? Like what does that feel like to you?
It can feel heavy. Like I got lost in Skid Row when I went to California once on shrooms. And so I took in like a lot, and it was really heavy and intense. And like, I don't even know how to explain that experience. Like, that's the most intense. That's what made me believe like, okay, I'm an empath and I'm soaking up people's energy, and I need to learn how to protect myself a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and that's a good point, especially when you are, dealing with like plant medicine and, just kind of like going outside of your usual realm, of consciousness. That is when you essentially become the most vulnerable, right? So you become the most vulnerable when you become this light, like, so kind of like mosquitoes, right? You always see like the little mosquitoes, like, buzzing around that like super annoying light in some places. It's the same concept, essentially. Light or, things that are dark or have darkness will attract to the light. So even if it's like this person is not a dark or evil person or evil entity, if they have darkness within their life, that is what they're projecting. And so for them, right, they're like, okay, where's the light? I gotta find, I gotta go back to it. But instead of, right, oftentimes as healers, we'll just encourage you to go back to yourself, right? So reversing it and knowing that you have the answers to things and you have the ability to protect yourself. But oftentimes, right, when we're in darkness, you're kind of just like, I don't even, you're going to pick up the first flashlight that you find, you know what I mean? And so that's essentially what the importance is. Moving right from my phone a teeny bit. Is that better? Can you guys hear me okay? Is it weird? Okay. Yeah, so, right. So, essentially, you just don't want people to energetically leech off of you. And that is where the protective part comes from. So what's important to know is that the white light can't be used to harm or hurt anyone, right? So you can't like use this meditation and like fucking Dragon Ball Z, like some bad shit to somebody. It just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Like you have to, it's when you have intention, because the key is intentionality and love, right? So when we say like, that's a woo-woo shit, right, Rachel? Like really like love is love. But it's so true. It really is. It's so true. That is like the answer. And so when you have these two elements of love and of intentionality, and then you kind of nestle this white light in your mind, in your consciousness, that is what breathes life into the protective force around it. Because then going back to what you were saying, Simone, it's about that communication with the universe, right? And about with the communication with your higher self. Are you, you're telling them I need protection and this is what I'm doing to protect my surroundings here on earth, on the earth plane, right? But when, we're multidimensional beings, right? And we travel and we go and, and so all of those things, we still would be able to take the white light with us wherever we go. But then more so than that, it's about understanding that we have the white light within us, right? So I have my selenite today. Have any of y'all played with selenite before? The crystal? No? Okay, you have? Okay, cool. Okay, I see Lucinda. Okay, cool. So I love selenite, and this is what it looks like. This is like the raw one. I love these. Oh, I love these. And so it's a selenite one, right? So essentially, this is a really great tool to bring in white light and to really like invoke the energy of it, right? So selenite it's like a charging crystal, right? So you put another crystal on top of it and then it'll give it great energy. And so even if we're thinking about, oh, I got you, Danny. I'll tell you. I'll tell you guys where to get good crystals. But if you think about even on a color scheme, right? If you think about what the color white, what pure, what crystalline, what those words even invoke within your mind, then it kind of gives you the energy of what that white light would be, right? But then moreover, understanding that if you are a part of everything that is, right? And if you are a part, you know what I mean? If you are made up of the same components that this is made up of, that these are made up of, right? If we understand that on a greater level, then we'll understand that when we're calling in the white light to protect us, it's calling in ourselves. We're literally just connecting with ourselves, right? And kind of like taking our shadow body and our light body and making them one, right? That is the aura. The aura is, yes, your shadow body, right? Your ego mind, and then your intuitive mind, right? Your light body, and they become one. You know what I mean? And that is the light that you radiate, right? So you can call it at any time, you know what I mean? And it's essentially called channeling. I don't really like that word, but I like invoking, and so it's pure energy, right? So I love the way that, and I can send you guys this link, but I love the way that this website described it. So I'm just gonna read a short little excerpt about how to call in the white light. So it says, making a shout out for the white light or channeling its pure energies to wash over you is not unlike dropping to your knees and making a prayer request. However, you don't have to be religious, simply open to receive. The light is available to all, more easily accessible if you are receptive to its healing and its uplifting vibration. So I think that was a great way to kind of encapsulate what I'm trying to say, right? It's all about what you are receiving, what you are holding, with your intention. And it's about imagination, right? So what we'll do, oh, kitty, what we'll do whenever we go through the meditation, we're going to, it's about the visualization, right? So we're going to take, something, a white dot, right? Something very white and small, and we're going to, expand it with our minds, right? And allow the feeling of this white light to completely encompass us, right? So before we jump into that though, I had another question for y'all. So what do we need, what would you say, right? If we needed to energetically protect yourself, what does that mean to you? Like energetically, when you feel like open and when you feel vulnerable, what paint me the picture of what that looks like for you and what you do then to combat or like remove yourself from the situation? What do you guys think? And it's a multi-tiered question, so I'll ask it again. So when you're thinking about when you energetically are protecting yourself, when you're going out in the world and you feel, and you step out of your house and you feel great, right? And you're like, okay, this is gonna be a good day. I pumped myself up, I drank my tea, I did my thing, and then somebody comes and they completely throw you off, right? What are you doing? Are you thinking like, I need to protect myself energetically, or are you thinking, wow, like, what are you thinking, right? Like some people are like, man, I just step out of my house and it's crazy, and they put the responsibility on the external forces, right? On these external experiences. But oftentimes, it's because we lacked that step. The step was protecting ourselves before we exited the house, or before we, shared our energy. So I'm curious to know if any of y'all have had that experience, or if you've ever kind of taken yourself out of that experience, and what that looks like for you.
I think you have to really call attention to it and intention to protect yourself before you're really even leaving the house at all. But especially like in a bartending context, you're so energetically vulnerable that you're in a position to just absorb a lot of shit that you don't mean to take home with you, but it sticks around. So if you're not being incredibly mindful of what it is that you're doing to protect yourself, or saying like little affirmations like don't take it personally, like it's not my fault, then you are subject to taking home a lot of bad forces.
That's a really good point, Lucinda. And then so is there anything that you do specifically outside of what you were saying? I think that's a really great thing, the affirmations, just like in the middle, be like, it's okay, girl, you're fine, but is there anything else, and maybe like towards the end of the day, like before you step back into your home, that you do to kind of cleanse yourself, or what does that look like?
I keep the home as like a clear space. So like walking into that is like a cleansing of itself.
You're like washed with it.
Yeah, like washing the floors with Florida water, or like even just like a cold shower is really great for like literal physical cleansing, is really energetically cleansing for me as well.
Right. Ooh, I like that a lot. That's good. That's a really great point about, again, aura, right? So aura, essentially is just your energy, right? That's what it is. It's the energy that when you, sometimes people, like if people can see your aura, you can see the color or like the shape that it takes around you, but essentially it's just your energy. It's what it's what you embody and how people see you, right? So Danny was saying in the comments here, she says, vulnerability is very intense, and the protection for me happens much later, when it really starts seeping in and making an effect. That is a really good point, because I think that the point of me having this talk is to prevent, like Lucinda was saying, like once she walks into her house, it's like she's washed of all of that and she doesn't have to take it with her, right? So, when Danny is saying that she allows it to seep in, it's because instead of protecting, she opens herself so that she has more of a capacity to hold space for these energies, right? And not that that's a bad thing, right? I think that that's a great thing in the sense that you are able to hold space in that way. But I think that before protecting yourself, it becomes an issue, because then people are able to leech, right? So they can just kind of like take, everything that you're willing to give, instead of you creating this boundary, kind of like Lucinda was saying, right? So where it's like, all right, whatever happens at work, but then once I cross the threshold, that's it, and I'm clean, right? And so, I just wanted to kind of get people's perspective on that. Does anybody else have anything to share? What's up, Jess? I didn't see you in here.
Hey, I was actually gonna say, I think I have like an armor that when I leave, and I think since I've been on public transportation since I was like 8 years old, traveling around the city to go to school, and so I've experienced street harassment my whole life. And so I remember as a kid, when my mom would be on the train with me, I would just like, people are looking at me and I would just smile at them, because I'm, I think feeling like me in my natural state is a light beam. And so if somebody's looking at me, I'm assuming best intentions, I'm showing them love. Hey, how you doing? Head nod. And my mom would be like, what are you doing? Like, do not smile at that old man looking at you. And me as a child being like, he's like, looks like he's having a bad day. Like, I'm trying to, and after like years and years and years and years and years of constant street harassment, it's like this resting anger face. It's resting the way you hold your body, that people are like, why are you mad? Why aren't you smiling? Like, and all of this. Right. And it's like, you don't get to have any of this because I need to protect it and I need to save it. And then it's like, that's my commute. And then when I walk into my work where I'm working with vulnerable people all day, it's like, hey, you're welcome in here. You get all of it. But it's very much like Danny was saying, like, it's a transition between, or I'm sorry, Lucinda was saying, it's a transition between that space where I know, and every day I'm experiencing these external forces that are trying to get my attention, and the things that people do to even get you to look at them, like run into you. Like the things I've experienced in DC, it's just like, oh my gosh. But literally like getting in your way, almost knocking you down so you will look at them. And it's like, it's only a 20-minute commute. Why is it so crazy? Like, you know, and so I think what I struggle with is then like after that and like dealing with, you know, like working with people and like hearing their traumas and like hearing their stories and like they're pouring their heart out to you, and then going home and then releasing the armor, you know, and like, and working on a practice of like, and usually that's like cooking or it's like smoking a J, or it's like, and I'm like, you know, I want to be able to do it mentally without something that assists. And I used to just love to just take a couple tequila shots and just smooth it out. And just after like 3 añejo chilled shots, I'm good. And so I was like, but let's find other ways, because that's a fast way to do it. But like, I want to be like trying to figure out that practice of like, how can I do it in my mind with my breath and these other things. But I think it's sometimes it's like that becomes a safe place, and then you start holding on to that hardness that sort of blocks your light, and for you from sharing it with the people that you want to share it with.
Yes. That's so good, Jess. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, no, she brought up a lot of really great points. And I think that a lot of those points we all kind of have experienced or shared, and which just goes to the point that this is even more important to be doing, right? So I want to move into what essentially the visualization is going to be. But I first want to kind of talk about a topic that Jess will actually know. So Jess is in my revitalization course right now. Shout out, what's up? And there's a part that we talk about it's like giving ourselves a daily fuck limit, right? Like, how much can I give a fuck about? And I think we kind of talked about this in the last class too. Maybe Rachel, tell me, I don't know. Not, or maybe, yeah, I think so, we did, right? Yeah, I am so an advocate for not giving a fuck about things that you really cannot control or really just don't serve you, you know? And so even with this, right? When you have the intention to welcome in this cleansing and clearing space, it's kind of allowing you to sit above, right, like the stuff that you don't want to deal with or that doesn't serve. So when you're walking down the street, right, and you do smile at a weird fucking looking old man, you know, that man isn't going to be like, oh, he doesn't steal, you know, he doesn't like make you feel uncomfortable, he doesn't steal that joy, steal that light, right? You just kind of keep on going on your day. You become the light. That is the thing, right? So when Jess was saying, you know, she's a light beam, right? That's what she emulates. It's because she's already invited and accepted and allowed that to be her narrative. So whenever she does go places, that's what people associate her with. But then moreover, they're going to try to eventually, if they don't have that light, if they don't see that light within themselves, they're like, what the fuck she's doing? You know, I'm trying to get that. And they steal it. So this is about not giving a fuck, right, about what you need to do for your own self, right, to protect your energy. If that is stop smiling at people, then fine, you know, and you just smile at your fucking friends, whatever. But I think it's just bigger than that, right? I think it's bigger than, it's just about how energetically things will literally miss you. Like they'll go around and over you because they're like, I don't even want to deal with her. It's too bright. The light's too bright. That's what we're trying to get, right? Whatever you create within your morning rituals, whatever, you know, your meditation, all this hard work, right? It's hard work. We all got to sit, you know, for an hour and fucking meditate, do all this stuff, right? And it's a lot of work. And so when you do that, and then the minute that you step out of your house, you know, you're just like, oh my God, I feel so depleted. That even becomes exhausting because you're just like, how much more do I have to do for my own self, you know? So I want us to envision a force field, right? So force fields, as we've seen, like even in cartoons, right? It's just kind of this like veil thing, you know, that goes over your body or whatever. But I want us to essentially think of that in an energetic sense, right? Our aura is that like force field energy, right? It kind of encompasses the outside of us. It's like outlining us in that gold, beautiful light, you know? And so whenever you are envisioning this white light, when you're inviting in this white light and you're picturing you are just housed in this vessel, right? So if you're thinking about the spirit body within your physical body being a spirit within a vessel, it's the same concept, you know what I mean? So when we go through the meditation, I want you to just think about what it would look like for your entire body to like be outlined in gold, you know, or what would your aura look like? What would, if you could literally like fucking in The Incredibles, do y'all remember that little girl, Violet? Oh my God, that's my movie. And she like did the force field thing, you know, that's what I'm talking about. It's like not, that's like a thing, you know, it's really a thing. And so yeah, so I want you to envision that, right? And I think that with visualizations, we have to attach things to things similar, you know, things that we've already seen. That's why I'm giving these examples. But then once that practice becomes your own, and once you take it, you know, and run with it, it becomes a totally different experience, right? So that's just to get us started. So yeah, so before I'm going to answer Danny's question before we get started. To get crystals, I don't have a specific spot that I get crystals. Danny, I get most every time that I can. I will go into a store though, and I'll go to different stores. And before I even buy anything, I'll like just get a vibe. I get a vibe for the people. You know what I mean? If the people aren't engaging with me or like wanting to help, or even just if they don't speak to me, you know, a lot of things, right? Like I really just get a good vibe because I don't ever want to purchase something that I'm going to be using, you know, just from what happened? And so yeah, so I will go into the stores and I'll like pick up stuff and I'll just like hold it, you know, and I'll put it down and really just feel out the vibe of the space, you know. And that's how I came with these. The guy was literally in the back. I like went and wandered because I'm nosy, and he was like cutting these selenite like bricks into the wands, and I was like, holy shit, dude, like what are you doing, you know? And so I just started asking him questions, and he was like, you want one? And I'm like, okay, you know, and it was that, right? So that to me was a divine connection, and that was supposed to happen, right? I had never come to the store. I got great vibes through and through, and then that was the ending, right? And so now I feel so good about this piece, you know? So I don't think that it matters where you get it from, how you get it, whatever the case is. But I think that anything that you're dealing with energetically, anything that is for you, for your spirit, you really just want to be cautious of the vibe. And you know what I mean? Your body will tell you, your mind will tell you. It's not like anything I could ever type up, right? You'll just know. That's it, you know? But yeah, and also Danny, which would be really cute is if you took the kiddos to the store and let them pick their own. That is really dope too. Kids respond really well to energy. Yeah, and I think you might be pleasantly surprised by what they bring home. So that's a good suggestion too. But yeah, so if everyone wants to take a moment, think if they have any more questions or anything while they get into a comfortable seated position, or lying down if you want to too. I am going to get ready for our white light chakra meditation. So my girls are indigo babies. I believe that, Danny. I believe that so much. I love that. So yeah, so if you want to, like Rachel, just take off your video, and if you want to like lay down or sit down, make yourself comfortable, take a second to do that. Yeah, grab some water, all that good stuff. We are going to settle into this energy. And so again, for this meditation, it's a visualization, right? So you know, you want to really allow your mind to take over here. And I'm just pulling up my music here. Give me 2 seconds. Anybody have any questions though for me before we get started? Because I feel like right after everybody's gonna kind of be like in their meditation, like drunkenness. And so it's okay if you like don't remember, you know? If everyone's good, then that's good. Then that means that we're all on the same page here. So that's great. All right, cool. I love that. Amazing. Okay. All right, lovelies. Is the music okay? Yeah. So if you want to sit, or lie down, begin to close your eyes here. Taking a few deep breaths. Again, starting from your belly up towards your ribs, to your heart, and exhaling out through your mouth. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, expand your belly out wide, allowing the breath to fill up your lungs, allowing your ribs to touch the insides of your elbows, and then you exhale everything out of your mouth. Inhale and exhale. As you bring to your mind a beautiful, brilliant white light. This light starts as a small dot on the tip of your head. And with each inhale, growing farther and farther and higher towards this light, you invoke more of this energy. And as you exhale, the light begins to expand, slowly at first, and then like a wave, the rhythm to which your breath moves in and out your body. As this beautiful white light begins to grow, travels down your spine, starting at the nape of the neck. Inhale, breathing into this space, releasing any tension that you may be holding in your neck and shoulders. Allowing your shoulders to melt away from your ears, your shoulder blades slightly touching. Imagine this beautiful white light that begins to weave itself gracefully around each cell, each vertebrae, each muscle and tendon. You begin to relax, to trust, to surrender. In through your nose and out through your mouth, each time inviting the energy of this white light. Feel it penetrate your entire body. Allow it to travel slowly down your spine, stopping at any point you feel tension, and allowing this white light to serve as the energetic salve that your spirit needs to feel free, to feel stable, to feel secure, to feel love. As you feel this light go down your lower back, allow it to travel through your legs, grounding you to the earth plane, feeling any sensations or warmth that this beautiful light brings. Begin to imagine a force field of white, crystalline light twinkling like a beautiful veil all around you. As you inhale and exhale, feel this light moving through you, extending out past you, above you, below you. You are completely encompassed, completely engulfed and encapsulated, nurtured and loved in this brilliant white light. Express gratitude for this gift. Inhale, beautiful white light. Exhale, that which no longer serves. With every inhale, you are realigning yourself with the divine white light of the universe, the white light that represents all that you are, all that you can be, all that is. Take another moment here to express gratitude for yourself, for the inner divine white light that shines brightly now from within. You are protected by this energetic force field. Your aura has been vacuumed with the crystalline divine light of the universe. All ties and energetic cords have been cut. You are free. Release now with a deep exhale. Anything weighing you down, standing in the way of your life. As you slowly bring yourself back to the present, place both hands on the top of your head, grounding yourself in this present moment, sealing in this force field of divine white light, of unconditional love, abundance, and joy. Feel this vibrating throughout all of the dimensions, all of your frequencies, everything that is, all that you are. Inhale big, deep, and beautiful, and exhale slowly, intentionally, and deeply. Placing both hands over your eyes, feeling the darkness, feeling the essence of your being. Slowly part your fingertips, allowing the light that is within to shine through, illuminating your projection, your greatest gift, your life. Slowly blinking your eyes open whenever you're ready. Not rushing, not forcing, just being. Namaste. Ladies, whenever you're ready, no rush. We have a few messages before you all go and take your midday naps, which I love. We'll wait for everyone to join in. How do we feel, y'all? Yeah, you feel good? Good, good. Did anybody, if they wanted to share really quick before we hop off, did you want to share any revelations you might have come to, or anything, that you incorporated in your practice that you think others could benefit from? Anything like that? No? Okay. Well, beautiful. I'm so happy to have had y'all here again. Thank you so much again for coming. I will be back on Friday. Friday, we're going to do, again, my favorite. It's going to be a fuck it meditation because obviously. So that's going to be fun. Well, same thing, find the link and join in on that. That'll be great. But yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. If you have any questions or anything, y'all know where to find me, reach out. Lauren, do you have anything? You're so welcome. So welcome, y'all.
No, just thank you for joining us, everyone. Yeah, we have another class coming on for Friday. Then we are going to be concluding programming with Simone. We have a raffle associated with this that will be on Saturday when we do our recap post of all the programming. We'll post the 2 Singani 63 cocktails as well as the prize at hand. It's going to be Spirits of Latin America by Ivy Mix, a personalized signed copy. So if you've attended one of the classes, that's the only requirement. And then, yeah, just comment on that post and join us for the rest of the month. We have some pretty great stuff coming up. So thank you to Singani 63 once again, and to all of you for joining us. All right.
Y'all take care. Thank y'all so much. I'm so glad you got good stuff out of it. Y'all take care, okay? Be safe. Bye.